Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Trademark Tales, Defending Brands, Building Future. We have with us Abhishek Nangia, partner at RNA IP Attorneys, and a highly acclaimed expert in intellectual property law. With over 18 years of experience, Abhishek has become a trusted name in the legal community, helping clients navigate brand protection, IT issues, and evolving e commerce regulations. From his journey through pre litigation mediation to becoming a key lawyer recognized by Legal 500 for IP, Abhishek's insights are as inspiring as they are practical. So, Abhishek, welcome to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you so much for the nice words and the kind introduction. I'm grateful to you, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I look forward to having a conversation with you. And so let's take it forward without waiting any more time.
Okay. Uh, so let me explain you the format. There are three rounds. You must be aware of the two rounds. So there is a third round, that is a rapid fire fun round. So for that, you have to be witty, funny, and quick, and you will get to win this book, Niche Marketing. This will be your Christmas gift and autographed. So let me begin my introduction. So friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation and a legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal, startups, and SMEs with world-class software technology and tech training. So my first question for you in your professional journey round, Abhishek, you have had a stellar career in IP for over 18 years. What initially drew you to this field, and what are the excitements you have covered till date?
So when I was in the high school, I always wanted to be a pilot. And my all the years, I was planning, one day I will become a pilot. And even till date, I am fascinated by the planes wherever or whenever I see them. But incidentally, I was having a conversation, I think it was in class 10th, with my uncle, and he is a civil lawyer in Delhi. And he would narrate some interesting court cases that he would handle. And what would happen is sometimes a casual conversation would stretch into hours, and without looking at the clock, someone would say, hey, you have been, don't you want to go back home? So, I would listen to his stories, the way he would narrate them, the flavor that he would give to them. It would, it just meant more than a case to me, and slowly and gradually, I thought, I should, try or give this a shot. This profession is something, I somehow, I can relate to it. And I maybe this is something which, I have an interest in. I started somehow developing that interest. And gradually, I made up my mind. I had long and extensive discussions. Some of those casual at once. Not it was not all work. But the way it was narrated to me, it actually made me develop the interest in the subject. And this is how the initial seeds were sown. And then I started, thinking about law as a career option.
Wow, that's interesting. So now let's come to your present role as partner at RNA IP Attorneys. Uh, so how do you balance leadership with managing complex client cases? And my second question I'll ask you later. It will be RNA.
So that's a very interesting question. And over the years, I have stepped up in my role. I started as an associate here. My journey at RNA is 15 years old. And from associate, I moved on to a senior associate. and here I am in front of you as a partner. And when I say that I am a partner, it has brought new challenges, new responsibilities, and which I have taken all of them in my stride. And now, when it comes to complex cases and handling the leadership skills, I think it's a combination of uh, three things. If I had to define, if you one would be the time management, delegation of work, strategic thinking, and there are a few others. Uh, and so when I say delegation of work, it is very essential that you kind of delegate work to the right people, having their keeping their strength and expertise in mind. And at the end of the day, it's important to remember that you can't do everything yourself. And giving the work to the team, and and uh, and empowering them at the same time, listening to their opinions, so that they also feel involved. This is one of the things which I normally do. you know Having a team in I have a team in place, I listen to them, where so that I am taking care of the strategic part, and the back end work is done by the team. And
Wow.
it uh, so I always listen to them so that I don't miss out anything. Whether And I always say them, there is nothing like right or wrong. Don't
Wow.
hesitate, even if it's a wrong. Don't hesitate, even if you make mistakes. I will be the first one to back you, even if you make a mistake. But the only thing is we need to remember is, let's not make the same mistake again.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Uh, Abhishek, there have been numerous court cases recently for protection of personality rights, like Amitabh Bachchan did, then Jackie Shroff, there are other artists are there. Can you explain the concept of personality rights, deep fakes, and the issues involved in in these litigations?
yeah. So that's a very pertinent question that you have raised, and it's a burning issue right now. And I think this is one thing the celebrities, they would, I am sure, they wouldn't have been imagined that something like this would happen to them. So what has happened is the personality rights, there is no statutory or a specific legislation that deals with this. And neither there is a specific provision in the existing legislations. So when we say personality rights, it is essentially your voice being copied, the name, signature, any other attribute of your personality. So that is, something that is being copied. And what has happened is, now this AI which has come into the picture, and it has led to the emergence of deepfakes. And when I say deepfakes, it is, your images, the voice being manipulated with the help of technology. And voice cloning. I'm sure you would have some time back seen a video of Virat Kohli, which was which went viral in the media. And later on there was a clarification that he hasn't issued it. So these are voice cloning softwares. Very they would sound the same the way he would speak. And likewise, I think these celebrities have not been spared. From Arijit Singh, Anil Kapoor, uh, and most recently, in the last week, I read there was a case when Rajat Kapoor, the journalist, he also went to the High Court. And the underlying issue is, in all these cases, is their voices have been, their fake videos have been issued. And uh, by which these there's an basically essentially it's an unauthorized use of their persona. And because of their large following which these celebrities have, and people tend to follow, we live in a celebrity obsessed culture. So and with AI, it's very difficult to figure out, these are actual videos or fake videos. We often get a lot of videos on WhatsApp, I'm sure. most of us would have received it at some point of the time or other.
Yeah, there was. I was attending one of ye brainstorming sessions since I enrolled for courses and other things. I'm part of technology committee at Indo-French Chamber of Commerce and others. So in that, one of the things the speaker was sharing about uh, ye $500 million being lost on a Zoom call. There was a sales meeting going on, a mega deal, and the person used a deep fake and uh, confirmed the order of consent for the deal, and accounts department didn't verify anything, and they made the transfer.
Yeah.
This happened on a Zoom call.
Oh, I mean, I think it's like every day we read a new thing happening, because such is the technology with the rapid pace at which the new technology is coming in. I think of late, if you would have seen, I think the moment we make a call, it's now there's an advisory being issued on the phones. Be careful
Yeah,
about
yeah,
those somebody impersonating as a judge or a police cop and giving you a call. So
yeah. It is very scary.
yeah.
Okay, let's continue conversation. So, Abhishek, intellectual property laws often intersect with technology. What are the most significant changes you have witnessed in this space?
So over the past 18 years, there have been several changes, and the intervention of technology has been more in the last 5 years. And ever since the COVID came in, and I always call it as a digital revolution which came into this country. Something which would have happened in the next 10 years. The COVID accelerated that, and it happened in the past 4 or 5 years. So uh, I would, I think the emergence of AI, artificial intelligence, there are new questions that are being raised every day, whether AI can be an owner. When there are new works that can be created in the field of copyright, a painting, uh, or a work of music or an art. Can AI be an author? Likewise, in the field of patents, can AI be the inventor? Uh, as right now, the Indian framework doesn't allow, that an artificial person to be an owner. It's they only recognize the human person as the owner. So the emergence of AI, it's what this is one big change. Another which I can which I see which has happened is the the reach of the internet has brought in new issues. It has led to a creation of IP, your websites being accessible across the globe. Now there are jurisdictional issues which have cropped up before the courts. Whether something which were somebody sitting in US and the website is accessible in India, does it give rise to the courts in India? They, you know, eh, so these are the issues which are being debated day in and day out. How does a court get a jurisdiction when somebody is sitting in US? So this is another thing which has happened. Uh, Another thing is, the liability of the e-commerce platforms. All of us buy products, the violations happen online. When does the liability of an e-commerce portal arise? Suppose if I get a counterfeit product, can they be held liable or not? Or whom do I take an action? Is it the product manufacturer or the e-commerce portal? So these are some of the issues that have arisen in the last few years, and we are seeing more of the issues now happening in the virtual world, or in the online space, because as businesses move online, we are seeing because it's easier to create, distribute, and of course replicate as well. So more and more issues are now happening in the online space.
Wow. So my next question will be e-commerce. With the evolving landscape of e-commerce regulation, how do you stay ahead in crafting strategies for your clients?
So essentially, as a lawyer, which I always say, the learning never stops. So if you have to stay ahead of the curve, it's very essential that one monitors the legal developments that are happening not only in India but globally. So you just monitor them, what is happening, so that you are basically aware of when you are advising the clients. Secondly, anticipate issues that which may come up, if not today, or maybe 5 years or 10 years down the road. Think it, have a holistic learning. Uh, it's always important that you think about the project that you have in mind, but have an holistic view about it, so that the client gets an overall perspective, and they are informed something which may come up, right, not right now, but something which can come up in the future. So it's so that, and they would appreciate it. It's always, you can say it's not a risk. Yes, we see a potential red flag, maybe in 5 years or 10 years down the road. And always reading more, not limiting to the subject, some having what is happening in other sectors. It helps you build the advice, because it may come in handy, not directly, but yes, something which is happening outside, it will come in handy while you're working on that opinion or a particular project.
So, Abhishek, can you share a particularly memorable or challenging case you have handled and how did you resolve it?
Yes. So it was very recently. I think there have been number of cases that I have handled over the years, and so I can narrate a very case which is quite interesting, and it relates to a job scam, or rather, it's an investment scam which was happening. They were using the name of a client. It's rather a domain name dispute. So the challenge which the client was facing is, they were using the name of the client, the logo of the client, the company name of the client, and they even had an image of our Honorable Prime Minister of India as well, to build trust and the credibility. And they were asking people to deposit money. It's so some kind of an investment fraud that was happening. And they had a website, and the domain name was very close, it. And now the challenge was, the contact details were missing. And now, how do you contact them? And how do you stop it? And what happens is, now this required, the conventional approach wouldn't have worked here.
Yeah.
We, I downloaded the app, probably thinking, we sent an email, we made a investment as well, a small sum of money, just to build the contact. But of course, this also didn't work. We didn't receive any acknowledgement, no response, the money was gone. And then, so what we did was, we went, of course, went to the police. The police said we need an evidence of actual fraud. And to which the client was little, they were a bit uncomfortable in sharing that actual evidence to the client. They wanted to bring that page down immediately, because it was, their name was being spoiled and something like a fraud happening. They were very concerned. So this was a US IT company which was involved here. And so then we went to the domain registrar. No response from the domain registrar again. Nothing. We tried our level best. We told them how this fraud is happening. All these are registrations. And so now came the next level. Now, what do you do next? Everything it's not working. So we went to the web host. So there's a web host who actually maintains, the website. He's different from a domain registrar.
Hmm.
So we went to the domain registrar, explained our grievance, how this is happening, and and the website was brought down within no time.
Wow.
So the learning was, why this was interesting was, see, we could have gone to the courts, we could have straight away, but here was something we wanted to do, say, let's and not see, the client could have given us that work, we could have gone ahead, but we thought, this doesn't, we can resolve it, why to take it to the courts when we can resolve it outside the courts? And we, the website was brought down in, yes, it took some time, but yes, we escalated at each step and we were able to achieve what we wanted in the first place.
That's very interesting. Out of the box thinking and creative thinking. You
Yeah,
step by step uh, go and take steps, and not yeah. Sometimes out of the box creative thinking brings a solution much more faster than going through other steps. So
absolutely.
so I'm very impressed. Yes, since I'm from the technology field and dealing with yeah, domain registrar, then web hosting. Yes, uh, these fraudsters don't provide all the details when they are registering a domain, and there is, you can also do what you say, yeah, enroll for privacy, where you can't see their details. So there
True.
are things which domain, yeah, domain registrar has to start implementing a checklist. I should have proper details, and all those things should be there to uh, misuse by fraudsters don't happen in the future. But that is another story by itself. Uh, but good thing, hosting company cooperated and understood what do you say, what you're presenting to them, and did the
Correct.
needful of bringing
Yeah.
it down. So
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
hosting company we have seen they are very understand and help the clients in whatever ways is possible for them. So I'm seeing, okay, yes, like Big Rock is there. One of my client had some thing, so he was just sharing, okay, transferring the domain from one a social media agency. They wanted to shift to internally. So the process step, Big Rock helped them out. So yes, reputed hosting providers go out of the way and get you. So they know customer service.
I know, because
So
and
next,
it's a, and fraud is a sensitive issue, where you are duping the innocent public, and
yeah,
it's, and using the images of the Prime Minister, the government of India, the State Bank of India, they had everything to make it look like a real page.
yeah, it happens.
And people, and
Just using a domain INEX, now whatever AC. So they know the name should look similar and mask it. So they're
yeah,
very good at that.
yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go to the next question. You have been recognized as a key lawyer by Legal 500 for IP. Uh, for how has this accolade shaped your professional journey, and what new changes you got to see?
So essentially, these accolades and awards have helped me in building my personal brand and the credibility amongst the peers. And it kind of validates your expertise in the field. And it, it gives you that boost, and the motivation levels go up tremendously. It kind of works like a booster shot.
Same thing, same thing. So I've been also been awarded Lex Falcon Legal Tech Service Provider in 2022 for being one of the leading legal tech companies in India. So yes, that adds booster value and all the steps that I had to go through. So which added in my coffee conversation also, okay, how they are going through the process steps. So whatever interactions, it adds to your functioning. So
Absolutely.
now, uh, Abhishek, what role does pre-litigation mediation play in the Indian legal system, and how do you approach it for successful outcomes?
So pre-litigation plays a significant role in the Indian legal system, and it actually works like an alternative dispute resolution system. And if I had to answer it, I see there are few key advantages of using it in our legal system. One, our courts are already overburdened, so it helps to take the pressure from our already overburdened courts. And second is it is cost effective. You know, litigation in India at times sometimes can be very expensive, especially a contested litigation where you don't know how many years, how many hearings, and how many there may be some procedural delays as well, and which at the end of the day adds to your overall cost. So, and here I'm looking at something, this might be for some, there would be some, few sessions that would be involved. And this would not take years and years like, a normal a court case would take. And another is, it's flexible. Here, the parties are sitting across the table and they are having a discussion, and they are trying to find a solution. So kind of it's like a win-win proposal if something can come out of a mediation. And we would always tell our clients, let's think, give it, and attend these sessions seriously. We really don't know, if we can come out with a solution which we initially wanted, or a something resolution that we were expecting from a court action. So if we are getting something from a mediation session, so I think one should take full advantage of it.
Abhishek, my next question, what are some of the skills that are in demand in the legal profession?
So some of the skills which uh, I feel are in demand, having spent 18 years in the industry, one is being creative. The time, yes, we can be conventional, but we have to be creative at the same time. Those the solutions which have been there for the past several years. What's new? What's how you are adding value to it? So it's very important that you add value to the client. Second is having a business outlook. It's though we are, you know, dealing with the legal problems, it's very important that we understand the business first of all. What does the client do? What are the client's key markets, the emerging markets? How has the business been? How have they done financially? So this is very important before, all this helps in building an advice. Something which you are saying, and you realize later on, if I would have read this, I wouldn't have written it. And as our legal industry gets global, it's very important that you keep in mind the cultural differences, and do you understand how the businesses work outside, and it will help to know the clients better as we work with law firms or the clients based in US, Europe. So it's very important to keep the cultural those differences in mind, and you will actually find that you're able to understand that better once have an insight about all these things.
Wow. Okay, Abhishek, you have contributed to INTA's Data Protection Committee, APAA, which are very notable. So, what do you enjoy most about these roles?
So what I have enjoyed the most is the relationships that I have built. I have taken part in the projects that have been taken up by, there's a subcommittee within a committee. And these subcommittees then form small groups, let's say if there is some particular project to be taken up. So I have volunteered in those special projects, and there is a free flow of information, you know, and it's not always about work. There would be a casual conversation in between to make that, it just makes the entire space lighter, so it makes the learning is so much fun, and you don't realize that you are learning, and at the same time you are uh, contributing as well. So it's like learning in a fun way, and you are contributing it, and you get to learn so many new things, which I think it's difficult when we are sitting in front of our laptops. We have so many emails to attend. This way, at least we are, in a conversation form. Some if there's a project or a document, it also helps in building that team effort. You work with certain individuals, team spirit, the team activities are encouraged. So you kind of, it's not about always about the individual. It's, as I always feel, it's about the team, and this is what all these activities are about. At the same time, you learn how to work with others.
Wow. Okay. Abhishek, my last question. What advice would you give to young legal professionals aspiring to specialize in IP law?
So my first advice would be proactive and not reactive. If you have to stay ahead of the curve, then you will have to take certain initiatives rather than the rather than you being asked to do it. It's always, it sends out a very positive message when you go up and say, can I do it? And versus if somebody said you have to do it. So it, just be open to the opportunities, uh, take initiatives, and you will see a lot of things coming in your way, which they wouldn't have come in your way if you had taken that the other path. And another thing is, I think, yes, keep reading. The learning never stops in this profession. uh, Even though I may have spent these many years, but as I look at it, uh, each day starts afresh. Forget the past and start that, just forget whatever happened yesterday, whether good or bad. This actually helps you in, even during the when things are not going well. Just forget about it, restart, refresh, reset.
Wow. Super. So let's go to the next question and understand Abhishek as a person. So tell us about your family and your formative years.
So I have been born and brought up in Delhi, and my schooling is I've studied at Springdale School, which is in Dholakwa, Delhi. And my father retired from UPSC as a joint director in the year 2000. And my mother is a retired school teacher, and I have an elder brother. And I'm the only lawyer, so it's a first generation lawyer trying to make a mark in the legal industry.
Okay. So now, going at Amity, how did it change your world outlook?
So the years spent at Amity, I spent it. This was a 5 year law course, and they were the way the subjects were taught to us, and we would often see, even things which were difficult to understand, the teachers would take extra interest in, presenting it in the form of a story, so that it becomes interesting. And we were always told, just don't think about, this is just the beginning. Don't think it will get any easier than this. Yes, enjoy the moment, but all of you will have to work very hard. So we were prepared well, I would say, in that sense. We were we were told that, yeah, this is just the beginning. It's like when you go when you will have to earn money for yourself, then you will realize how difficult it is. And but yes, I would say yes, it prepared us very well, you know. And when we actually when I actually started working, and I realized our teachers were so right. It is a different ball game once you start working. What we had learned, yes, it helped us, but it was very different when I started practicing.
Yeah. Okay. So, Abhishek, outside the courtroom, what hobbies or activities help you unwind after a long day?
I could not get. I think the voice was cracking. Can you please
Okay,
repeat?
I'll repeat again. Outside the courtroom, what hobbies or activities help you unwind after a long day?
So on a typical day, if the it's been a busy day and I am exhausted, so I would go out for a long walk with my earphones, you know. And I am a nature lover, so I like to spend some few moments, just trying to regroup and trying to take it easy, and so that just gather my thoughts, what has happened, how the day has been, and what I need to do tomorrow.
Wow. So now, Abhishek, what's your favorite way to spend time with your family and friends?
With family and friends, but I think travel. I think the profession is quite demanding, and but despite all that, I try and make it a point that we travel together with the family. I still travel with my parents, so that it's still, that it helps you enjoy and have those moments which normally all of us are busy during our everyday lives. We are not able to have that conversation or something. So to have that lighter moment, you feel like travel with the family, and just relax and enjoy whatever you have, and be thankful for whatever you have in your life.
Wow. So, Abhishek, who has been your biggest influence personally and professionally?
So that's an interesting question that you have raised when I've asked me. To be honest, there have been many people. I would not say one. There have been a lot of role models for me ever since, uh, not when I started my journey, be it school. Obviously, college came much later. I have always, what can I learn from this person? What is new? Which can help me, become a better individual. So there have been so many role models, I think, and this is how I look at it. If something nice or something positive that I can absorb, I will try my level best.
Wow. Okay. So, Abhishek, uh, suppose you get to take a month off from your work. How would you like to spend it?
Wow, it sounds like a dream, but I would like to live that dream. So there are three places which come to my mind where I would like to spend. I would, yes, the answer is travel. And uh, when I say travel, there are three places. One is Japan. I have traveled to Japan for work, and I had an amazing time. I like the culture. I really like the people and the way they go about their work. They focus on, minutest of details. So this is something, which I really liked. I spent 3 weeks when I was in Japan. I went for a training course. I was selected by the Japan Patent Office. They had funded that learning training course. So the next would be Switzerland and New Zealand. So three. I am sure I will be able to cover three in 1 month.
Yeah, yeah. So we hope this happens in 2025.
Yes, let's hope so.
Yeah. So, Abhishek, what's a skill or talent you have that might surprise your colleagues?
So I think something which may surprise is I I am and I'm a, I invest in stocks, and I have whenever I get time from apart from work, this is something which keeps me busy. So I keep investing in stocks, and equities. This is something, which I at the same time I gain insight what is happening in the companies. So whenever there is time, though always there is not enough of it, but yes, whenever I do get time, yes, stocks uh, is something which I look forward to. And sometimes some of my colleagues do know it, but then they do get surprised. How do you actually do it?
Yes. Okay. So my last question. Describe Abhishek in one line.
I would describe myself as a solution oriented lawyer with a never say die attitude.
Beautiful. Okay. Now let's have some fun. The rapid fire round. Uh, a gadget you can't live without.
Mobile phone,
Your go-to comfort food.
South Indian,
Favorite place to visit in Delhi.
favorite place to visit in Delhi, Connaught Place.
Tea or coffee?
Always coffee.
Okay, let's read. Your favorite color?
Green. I'm a nature lover.
Wow. One word to describe your leadership style.
Accountability.
Best piece of advice received.
Open minded. Flexible.
Wow. So you did very well, Abhishek. And this book will be your Christmas gift. Please go through, and this will be written by me. So,
Thanks.
friends, this was a lovely conversation. How IP litigation has evolved over the years. Uh, there are particularly new cases are coming up: personality rights, deep fakes, AI. So many new things are coming up, and how Abhishek is evolving and handling his team. And there are his dream vacation of like we've given him the option of detaching himself from 1 month from all the activities and going for 1 month. So watch the episode where you'll learn Abhishek as a person and how he has grown in his career. And he is a has also received an award, key lawyer for IP. So any company out there who wants to protect their IP assets, so right from the start, so he's the person to connect with. You'll get his details when we publish the episode on the YouTube channel, the Coffee Corner Show. His LinkedIn details will be there in the caption. So connect with him and take his advice and consult with him. So friends, we have got over 300 plus episodes on our Coffee Corner Show. Subscribe. You'll get a lot of insights like how we get from Abhishek. And if you want to be featured like Abhishek, so visit our LinkedIn, our website, the Emerging India Forum, and fill in the form. Our team will connect with you and invite you over a cup of coffee to have coffee conversation. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We see with another speaker. There are a lot of episodes. Sorry, coffee conversation till 31st. We will be continuing. Was Eh, So this is our journey, and we meet in 2025 with a lot of excitements. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again. It was a pleasure, and I certainly enjoyed having the conversation with you. And I didn't feel like I think we spent an hour, and it's the time has just gone by like anything. So, cheers to the good times ahead.